Hi there, this is Claire, and today's update. So, I've tried recording some stuff earlier today, and it didn't quite come out proper. My son and I went for a fairly long walk this morning, got a lot of our steps in, but then it started to rain, like it's 30 seconds after I hit record. So we ended up having to take a shortcut home and you know, kind of lost that recording. And then I tried to record in the spare room that we have that I need to clean up for recording purposes, but I couldn't even really get into the room. So I spent some time cleaning that up, but it still has a long ways to go. So I'm in my daughter's room recording. Um, so just a quick update for today. Um, as far as my physical health stuff is going, everything is going well. Today I kept my fast going until about I think we got home around 11:30, so it was about 12 o'clock by the time I fed the cranky kid and made myself something to eat. So I had a naan bread with tuna and lettuce and tomato and a little bit of light mayo. So that was my lunch along with coffee. And then for supper, I had some leftover rice and chicken and peas. And then for a snack, we had some Greek yogurt with a bit of granola and some banana. I was going to put fruit on it, like berries and stuff, but I only had frozen berries and forgot to take some out. So the only thing I had available was a banana at the time. Got some, we have apples somewhere. Not sure if they're any good anymore. I'm gonna make some soup for the next couple of days. I make a big batch of soup, and usually that lasts at least 2 to 3 days, depending on how many people actually decide to eat it, other than myself. Um, Today, I learned that when you are washing your sports bra in the clothes washing machine, and I'd read this, and I kind of knew it going into this, but and we have some somewhere. Um, you put it in a mesh bag before you put it in the washing machine. And the reason for that is to keep it from basically snagging on other clothes or getting caught in the agitator and stuff like that and falling apart. And of course, both the inserts fell out. So I did hang it up to dry instead of putting it in the dryer for sure. But now I have to figure out how to put those inserts back in. I know where they go, it's just a matter of doing it. Um, and what else? So I didn't put up a video yesterday, and the reason for that was that I was gone most of the day, and I tried to record a little bit at night when I was out with my dog, but the lighting wasn't great, and I wasn't thinking of recording in here. My office is not a good space to record or anything either, so here we are. Um, so yesterday was kind of a physical break and a mental health day. I actually walked down to a gaming store that we have here and played D&D with some members of my community. And that was a lot of fun. It was just meant to be a one shot, and as a one shot, I'm not going to say railroady because that has negative implications. The DM did narrate a fair bit more than I would have expected for a D&D game, but at the same time, for a one shot, it was pretty accurate or pretty on par for what I expect. Um, and I mean, we had a lot of fun. They're a lot younger than I am, and so they have to worry about going to school and stuff coming in the fall. We're mid-August now, so he doesn't really have time to prepare a weekly or even a bi-weekly game. He said if we want to keep going, it'd be like once a month or once every other month or something like that. But I was like, no, I want to play more than that, and I've DM'd a ton, so I'll run a game if that's okay with you guys. We can do it like bi-weekly, so I'm not interfering with school too much or at all, hopefully. Saturday afternoon, 4 or 5 hours. If you guys have school, work, or whatever that takes priority, all that fun stuff. So they're on board with that so far, and I've got one guy who's already made his character. I'm pretty sure he was asking a lot of questions yesterday, so that's going well. I'm looking forward to doing that. I might do some D&D kind of videos, or just regular tabletop role-playing game videos in general, not necessarily D&D. I've played quite a few other games. It's an interest of mine, so it might show up on the channel. This is vlogs of my life and my interest and hobbies. So hopefully that's something that interests you too. And if not, skip those videos. It's great. Um, I'm going to focus on a couple of other things. I want to learn how to draw. It was something that I did enough as a kid, but I was never super good at it. I had a lot of artistic friends growing up, especially in high school, and I was good at copying their art, which is not much, and very bad at making my own or being creative in that sense. So I'd like to practice that a lot more and maybe show you my progress with that over a couple of videos. Again, a lot of these videos are just meant to show a before and after and a progress of where I am and where I want to be. Again, I'm 42 years old and a lot of my life has passed me by and I didn't do anything with it these last 20 years, for example. Like, my daughter's is older. She's in her mid to late teens. I'm not going to divulge a whole lot of information. But I was sick for like the first 5 years of her life. I basically missed them entirely. I was in the hospital for weeks at a time, and then when I wasn't in the hospital, I was miserable. I was coming off of painkillers, and for like the first like week of that, I was just non-existent, and then I'd be going back to work because I had to work full time as well. So I missed out on a significant portion of her life. Her mother does a fantastic job raising them, and now I'm trying to make up for that a little bit as best I can. So there's that, and also just transitioning. It's something I wanted to do for a very long time. I was very scared to come out. As I mentioned, it wasn't really on my mindset as something that I could do. Like, it's just like, yeah, that's a thing, but I'm not gonna do that. That's not me. I mean, I'm a guy, right? So I kept telling myself, and that lasted longer than it should have, and as well, being sick all that time and not being happy. I was depressed. I gained all that weight, this weight, I should say, and didn't do anything. Played video games, socialized a little bit. I mean, I had a couple of friends from work and people online that I met with and talked with and stuff like that, but no real friends, and certainly just mostly spent a lot of time alone. Even my family, like my partner, I would seclude myself in the basement, play my games, and kind of neglect her as well. And I mean, I wasn't 100% off. I was there when I could be. It's just I was depressed. I just wanted to be alone a lot of the time. And bless her for putting up with me for all that time and sticking with me. And even now, being with me and supporting me and spending all this time taking care of all of us. As it is right now, I am unemployed. I lost my job about a year and a bit ago, a year and a half there, give or take, and that was because I got sick again. I was the manager of a store, and they needed a manager, and I was sick for like a month. At which point I was like, look, I know you guys need people, and you need somebody to step up and take the place, so go ahead and do that. I don't know when I'll be better, because it could take anywhere from, I was sick anywhere from a couple of days to 2 or 3 months, depending on how sick I got and how often it relapsed throughout that time and what my recovery was like. So I gave up that job. They did at one point ask me if I wanted to come back and basically just work as a regular employee, not as a manager, because it's already filled that position, obviously. And I was like, no, not right now, because it was still kind of as I was getting ready to kind of take on all these challenges. So I wasn't quite prepared to do that. And now, I don't know, I'm kind of looking for a job. I've applied to a bunch of places. Nobody's responded back. There's not a ton of options here. Even online, like job searches and things like that, they start recommending like, this job would be perfect for you if you want to move halfway across the country. and I live in Canada. It's a big country, and that's a far ways away. So no, I can't do that. It's just not feasible. So for now, I'm just going to continue focusing on myself, focusing on my family, making these videos, and talking to you guys. And that's all I have to say for that today. I will post some updates. I update my measurements and weight and everything in the description, as well as my mood for that day. And that's just for me to help keep track. And if you're interested in those numbers as well, don't expect massive changes in them from the day to day. I will note that my weight was significantly down today. I was down to 134 something. I can't remember. I have to go take a look what I wrote down. And that's normal. Your weight's going to fluctuate day to day by a small number of pounds, and that's due to like basically how much water you're retaining, fiber, and things like that that you're holding on to. So I do try to eat a fairly high fiber, high protein diet, and so if I measure myself in the morning versus measuring myself at the end of the day, I'm going to see a significant change. Well, not a significant change. I'm going to see a couple of pounds difference. So what I do is I like to use a weekly average typically. For these videos, I'm just going to post whatever it is I weighed myself that day, and then if you want to do a weekly average of that, that's basically what I try to use as judge for what my weight actually is. And then, but what I'm finding right now is my weekly average was like 243, 245, and I'm down now to about 236 as my weekly average. I think my weight, yeah, it was 234 today. It was 237 the other day. So I'm finding like 235, 236 is currently my average. So I'm going down. I'm going in the right direction. As far as any other tips, tricks, or hints or anything about transitioning, if you're interested in things like that, I can share what wisdom I know. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I grew up with 3 older sisters. I have a daughter and a partner who all have very girly things. As you can see, this is flowers from a wedding they just got back from, or my partner got back from. My daughter was supposed to be there, but due to a labor dispute with the airlines, her flights have been canceled twice now, so we're still trying to figure out how to get her home. Hopefully next Wednesday or Thursday she'll be home. Hopefully. We'll see. And yeah, so they're there to help me. They're there to give me some guidance and tips and tricks. I have no makeup on today. I have very little budget, so what I do have I tend to practice with, but save for when I'm like, okay, I'm going to go out. I'm going to be out for, like when I went to play D&D, I was like, okay, I'm going to go out. I'm going to be out for like 5 hours. Let's practice. Let's put something on. If it's not good, I'll wash it off before I go. If it's good, it's good. So it was all right. Yeah. What I find does the most difference are my eyes. So even just putting on mascara and a little bit of eyeliner goes a long ways. Shaving, I find I have to do very often. I'm looking into alternatives for that, but the electrolysis, is that what it's called? I'm so bad at this. And that's being because I looked into it and it didn't seem like it would be the perfect fit for me. It tends to work better on darker colored hairs, I understand it, because it penetrates through and goes to the root and basically kills it there. But if it's light skinned and light haired individuals, it can't see those hair follicles, so it can't destroy them as well as it should. So it takes a lot more sessions in order to get that done. My hair on my body comes in pretty much white or blonde, and then the red hair doesn't work very well either. So that's not really going to be the direction I go, I think. As I understand, waxing is pretty universal, so I'll probably do that. And my partner is really looking forward to that idea because she enjoys inflicting pain on me. She's one of those people who just like, if you like for waxing, for example, like she likes to be able to put it on, rip it off, and see Oh, look how many hairs we got on. That really seems to be her her cup of tea. Um, if you want to know more about my weight loss kind of plans and what I am doing for that, I'll probably go into more details about it in the near future, but please feel free to ask any specific questions you have. And yeah, any of my other interests or anything else you might be interested in as well. Like I said, I want to learn how to draw. I like to play role playing games. I like to paint. I like to play Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, or other trading card games, TCGs. I enjoy a lot of computer games and spending time with friends and family now, which is new for me. So um, that's it for today. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.